Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for IDW Sonic the Hedgehog issue 34. When we last left our heroes, Sonic and Tails went to an abandoned Eggman base to get Cypher needed to read the blueprints to fix up Omega, while Amy, Cream, and Rouge went to a Chao race to get in with this guy Clutch, who should have the parts they need to fix up Omega. And while Rouge was starting to open negotiations with Clutch, she met this mysterious Parka Guy, who had color-based superpowers that seemed very, very similar to the team colors of Sonic Heroes, with his blue power being speed, yellow being flight, and red being power. Which honestly, I just kind of thought about kind of ties into the Power Orbs in the last issue of Bad Guys. So maybe we'll see if there's a connection there. I don't know. But anyway, the issue ended with Shadow getting thrown off a roof by Parka Guy as well. And us not really knowing what happened with Rouge after her encounter with Parka Guy. So anyway, let's jump right on into issue 34. Our cover here shows the race starting. Also, Cheese made it through the first round of the race, so now he's in the Grand Prix. We see what I think is Clutch's Dark Chao there too, and then just some more Chaos as everyone cheers them on. So yeah, I have our story so far, setting up everything I just said with Clutch and the Badnik base and Parka Guy. And our roll call involves Sonic, Amy, Tails, Rouge, Omega, Cream, Cheese, and Jamurl. Interestingly, although Shadow was kind of introduced last issue as being a part of this storyline, he's not here, and neither is Clutch. Also, Sonic and Tails are being watched in the base by someone. That also seemed to be important, but has not really been brought up in the story so far section. Anyway, all that being said, we open at morning at the White Park Chateau, where the race is being held. As Amy, Cream, Cheese, and Jamurl all eat breakfast, and Amy asks, "Something on your mind, Cream? You've hardly touched your waffle." And Cream responds, "I'm worried. Miss Rouge didn't come back last night. What if something happened to her? Rouge can take care of herself. She probably just had too much fun stealing everybody's fancy jewels or something." So yeah, Rouge seems to be in kind of a bad spot. Again, we just kind of left that scene and saw Parka Guy later with Shadow last issue. Or never mind, Rouge just shows up. As Rouge comes over and steals a strawberry off of Amy's dessert. "The only treasure in this chateau is your friendly faces. I checked. Most of the guests in this place are wearing gold plating and rhinestones." And Cream exclaims, "Good morning, Miss Rouge." And Amy just glares at her. "Do you think that's a good example to be setting for Cream?" "Definitely not. Cream, remember, if you're ever going to loot a hotel, make sure the guests are loaded first." Rouge is always a good role model. And then we hear an announcer. "Attention race attendees. Today's proceedings will be starting momentarily. Trainers, please bring your Chao to the track." That's our cue. And Cream runs off. "Come on, Cheese, we don't want to be late. Ciao, ciao." And Rouge calls after her, "Hold on, I'm Cheese's trainer, remember?" And as they all leave, we see Shadow watching them. Okay. So a theory that kind of popped into my head on this page, tying in with Bad Guys, is we know that Mimic is part of Starline's team in Bad Guys. They have the Power Orbs that would presumably give each of them the speed, flight, and power we see Parka Guy use. And so maybe Rouge, or the Parka Guy was Mimic who had taken Rouge's form here. But then we also see Shadow here, who also had an encounter with Parka Guy. So I just really don't know. I have no idea. And Shadow is just glowering. Useless pageantry. If I'm going to find the one who beat me, it won't be in that rabble. So this is the real Shadow then. And earlier we see Shadow climbing out of a lake that I guess he was thrown into. That stranger could be the root of the egg tech rumors I've been following. I can't let them slip through my fingers again. Lucky for me. And he pulls out, a card. for Clutch. Clutch the Possum, Antiques and Acquisitions, Penthouse Suite, White Park Grand Chateau. I've got a lead. But we know that it isn't Clutch, because Rouge left Clutch's room with Clutch still inside, and then found Parka Guy. So, still a mystery. I hope they make use of the time I have left. They have left, because I won't leave them much. And we move back to the present, as Shadow is seemingly climbing stairs, presumably to get to Clutch in the penthouse. But then we look in on the Chao Race, interspersed with scenes of Shadow in Clutch's suite. We see, Cheese climbing a tree, just running, as Shadow looks inside Clutch's suite with all of the boxes and the badniks and everything. And Shadow looks around. So the rumors were true. This collector better have answers about Eggman's whereabouts, for their sake. And then he sees a cage, covered by a tarp. Suspicious. And he pulls the tarp back. What? And then he looks in. Utter scum. We don't see what it is, because just then, Omega talks. Shadow, you are not a part of Rouge's plan. Has the code word changed? Or we don't actually see it's Omega. We just see, the robot text. Presumably Omega, or maybe Jamurl. But Shadow turns around shocked. And then we move back to the race. Still no idea what's going on over there. Especially, it's not Jamurl, because we see Jamurl with Amy and the gang. But still no idea of, what Omega is doing there, given that Omega can't really move. And when would Rouge have been able to put Omega back in Clutch's room after her encounter with Parka Guy? There's still plenty of mysteries going on with Rouge and her scene last time. Anyway, this is it, race fans. The final match of the day. The winners of this race will be entered into the semifinals, so I'm sure everyone will try their hardest. On your marks, get set. We see Cheese stretching, Clutch's Dark Chao kind of glaring at Cheese. Oh, no, I think Cheese is the one here who's kind of worried about Dark Chao. We see another Chao stretching, an Orange Chao sleeping. But, they're just getting ready for the race. Go! And all the Chows start to run. And Cream calls, you can do this, Cheese. Please be careful. But Dark Chao goes to, throw a punch at Cheese, who barely gets out of the way. And they see the finish line. Cheese jumps, starts to fly, but the Dark Chao chases after him, but falls into the water, as Cheese makes it to the finish line first. Alright, good for Cheese. I guess that means we made it to the semifinals. Though I had thought it was just last time was a preliminary round, and then this was the whole Grand Prix, but I guess I got that mistaken. Anyway, Dark Chao is doing very bad, as everyone else seems to be ahead of him. No, there are a few still in the land behind him, but still, not in a good spot. Anyway, Cream goes over to Cheese. Cheese, that was wonderful! Chao! And Rouge looks back and sees Clutch, who's getting angry at the Dark Chao. And then Clutch turns back. As you may recall, Clutch wants Cheese. And Rouge promised Clutch Cheese last time we saw them together. And so Rouge, to get her out of the way, says to Cream, why don't you let me take Cheese over to the first aid tent to get checked out? That last landing was a little rough. Oh, I suppose that's alright, but... and then Rouge turns to Amy and Jamurl. Great, you three run along, and Jamurl stops her. Negative. I will not allow a deliberate breach of my directives. And Amy chimes in. What he means to say is that we're not letting Cheese out of our sight. What are you up to? They've kind of turned on her fast. Though perhaps they can see that she's, acting in a certain way around Clutch. Even if they don't have all the details. Anyway. Fine. I need Cheese with me so I can get Clutch alone. He thinks it'll be a trade. A chow for the parts we need, but I've got a plan to turn the tables on him. But, this gambit's a bit much for you do-gooders, though, so why don't you let me, and Amy stops her, do-gooder, shamoo-gooder, we can handle it. Besides, you'll need someone to watch your back. I'm glad Rouge is being open about this. She's not like hiding the fact that she's gambling on cheese. Um, she's like very, here's the plan. Here's, I've offered cheese. I'm gonna like betray him, but still. Anyway, Rouge responds, "My, how daring! I'm impressed." And Amy just winks and gives like a little finger gun. A team's a team. Might even be fun. And soon we see all of them come with, all four of them even comes to Clutch's suite. Shadow is not there, though. Despite the fact that we last saw him peering into that cage behind Clutch. But Clutch greets them. "Rouge, you should have told me you'd be bringing guests. I would have tidied up. I try to be hospitable to all my visitors, even when they're a band of sniveling Girl Scouts dragging around a rust bucket, which frankly I'd be ashamed to see in my collection." Oof. And that gets Jamerl angry, and Rouge tells him, "Simmer down. We need tact, not muscle." And Clutch responds, "Your robot's enthusiasm is admirable, but you should know that while I like to do business in a relaxed setting, I am by no means defenseless. Interested in a demonstration?" And Rouge stops him. "We're here for the trade, plain and simple. Just the way I like it. Show me the Chao." And Rouge leads Cream over to Clutch and whispers to her, "Don't worry, I've got this under control." And then Clutch looks at them and looks at Cream. My, is this little lady the Chao's trainer, and you're willing to destroy their delicate bond? I knew I liked you, Rouge." And Rouge just responds, "I always get what's mine." And Clutch just glares at her. "What's that?" And Rouge kind of breaks there. I said I always get what's mine. Okay. Cute code word. Doesn't seem to be And just then Shadow shows up. Analysis complete. Shadow's plan is better than Rouge's. Okay, I guess she was gonna have Omega do something. I'm not entirely sure what the plan was supposed to be here. But yeah, Shadow shows up, having joined the plan. And Amy just kind of cheers. "Take that, you creep! Enjoy your nap!" And Rouge greets Shadow. "Not the help I expected, but I'm not complaining. Thanks, Shadow." I love Cream's like wide-eyed, "What just happened?" face. And Shadow turns to them. "I didn't do it for you. Check under that cloth. You may want to take care of what's beneath." And we see Cream, Cheese, and Jamerl go to investigate, and Rouge asks, "Where are you going?" "To find a real challenge." And we see it's a bunch of Chao, including the Dark Chao from earlier. I guess all the ones who lost races. And Cream just gasps, "Oh my goodness! You poor things. So this is why you raced so hard. That nasty Mr. Clutch would put you back in here if you lost." And Dark Chao just responds, "Chow to chow." So yeah, it's just kind of, Clutch is awful. When it was treated as this whole like we cut away before we see it thing, I was expecting a little more beyond just the Chows are in cages. I don't know. It's just a little anticlimactic, I guess. Also a little confused how Clutch knew about the plan, and how Omega was still there in Clutch's room when he was also with Rouge when she met Parka Guy. Parka Guy is just giving us question after question. Anyway. Cream turns to Jamerl. "We have to get them out." "Agreed, but I do not think it will be easy. I mean, Clutch is asleep. You can just break open the cage." And we see Rouge turns to leave. And Amy asks her, "Hey, you're leaving too?" I'm gonna call Tails. We could use his help for picking out the right parts for Omega." "Okay. And Rouge? Good plan." And Rouge just responds, "You don't even know what was supposed to happen." And we see Rouge turns to leave. I'm still thinking she might be Mimic. That's my guess right now. I would put this definitively after Bad Guys, so we might actually end up getting some Bad Guy spoilers in this arc. maybe. But Rouge is being a little suspicious here. The whole like, I'm gonna call Tails. It sounds like an excuse. And then we see here, Amy turns to leave, but it worked, and that's what matters. I'll keep an eye on the sleepy creep. Right. And this panel of Rouge here is very sinister. Yeah, something's up with Rouge. I still think she's mimicked with the Power Orbs. And then we see Amy as the scene changes. We'll have this wrapped up in no time. At the abandoned egg base, we see Sonic in a fight. So it all comes down to this. You and me, mano a mano, no mercy. 2 will enter, 1 will leave. And it's just a doll of Knuckles. Prepare to meet your maker, Oven Mitts. And then he punches the Knuckles doll, and like dust pops up in his face. Ugh. Then he turns to Tails. So, Tails, nearly got that whole super hacker thing wrapped up, yeah? Sorry, the system's adaptive firewall is really tricky. It's taking most of my effort just to stay undetected. Have they been at this for a couple of days now? Because, like, it's been a couple of days at White Park. Or at least it's on day 2 of the mission to White Park. And so if these are meant to be synchronous, then it has been a couple of days since they got here. Then Sonic asks, so you'd say the eggnet is hard to crack? And Tails doesn't respond. I said the eggnet is hard to crack. Because eggs and cracking. Never mind. And we see someone looking out at them. Someone who looks very, very. I don't know if Mobian is still the proper term. But, organic. Sonic kind of absentmindedly kicks a loose screw. It's official. This is the least fun trip to a secret Eggman base I've ever been on. And he kicks it, and it ricochets off a Sonic doll and right onto our mystery person, who screams, "Ah! Ow! 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 Ow!" And what appears is a wooden puppet. She's got twin tails. This kind of like Pinocchio aesthetic is what I'd best call it. And then she realizes she's been seen. Oh, sawdust. Badnik! And Sonic is ready to fight. Wait, hang tight, buddy, I got this. Hiding out to sneak attack us? Nice try. You're a new Badnik. What sort of goofy name did Eggman come up with this time? Puppetron? Warionette? No, Ventriloquist. Interestingly, she's distinctly made of wood, as opposed to the normal Eggman metal. The puppet calls out, You're Sonic the Hedgehog. Got it in 1, and I think, does he punch her? Or she, I think, falls back to avoid the punch. Got it in 1. Geesh, Eggy didn't skimp on the axle grease for you, huh? I mean, she's clearly wood. I don't think she would use axle grease. I don't want to, and she keeps, avoiding Sonic's attacks. Yeek! And then, as Sonic keeps trying to hit her, Tails calls out, Sonic, I don't think that's a Badnik. Ha! And then Sonic steps on her tail. Ah! My tail! Don't pull it! And then she falls to the floor, I think? Or, I don't know, she goes to, a kick. She goes for a kick. That Sonic, deflects with his hand. Hello! Now it's getting interesting. And the puppet apologizes. Oh no, I'm so sorry. It's a reflex. I can't control it. Honest. I'm not a Badnik. I don't even know how to fight. Yeah, but please don't use your buzzsaw hair on me. That's a good line. I like that one. And Tails stops Sonic. Sonic? Yeah, I heard her. I'm done. I get a little squirrely when I'm cooped up inside. And the puppet asks, questioningly, don't worry about it? And Tails looks at him. Good. Okay, then. And Tails turns to the puppet. Sorry, when we run into robots, they're usually part of Eggman's army. I'm Tails. What's your name? Belle. And Belle goes to, shake Tails' hands. And then Tails immediately starts looking over her arm. Whoa, your construction is remarkable. I've never seen a wooden robot before. Who did the work? It's hand-carved oak hardwood. I did the order wrong. It's hand-carved oak, art, hardwood, and then who did the work? That's private. Let me guess. And this is Sonic. Mustache, bald, big on theme parks. And Belle turns away. My creator is missing, and I'm looking for them. They're not Dr. Eggman. Okay. That's interesting. There's another creator, another person creating robots in the world besides Eggman. Or maybe does Belle really count as a robot? Like, what is animating her? That's what I'm curious about. But Tails turns to Sonic. See? You don't have to fight every robot, Sonic. Pfft, sure. But then we see, over on the screen, unauthorized access attempt detected, something activated, nice try. Eggman's onto them, or they've been caught. And then we hear alarm as like red flashes, and Tails facepalms himself. Shoot! I forgot about the firewall. Everything's locked, and he turns back to the computer. And Sonic tries to comfort him. It's okay, we'll figure something else out. No, I'll get around it. I won't give up. And Belle kind of sweats. Guys, I don't think we're alone in here. And just then, badniks start coming out of the vents. Yeek! They're quickly surrounded. Sonic tries to protect Tails and Belle. Gears and starters! You can say that again. And Belle kind of like scared. Are those badniks? Unfortunately. Keep back. These ones have a bad habit of exploding when they grab hold of you. And Tails provides some more exposition. They're slow and not very smart. We should be able to outmaneuver them. And Sonic turns to Tails. Sure, but I can't build up momentum without some more space. Could you bust down the door? I need a solid spin dash. You can cover me while I'm charging up. And another badnik seems to appear right behind them. And Belle notices it and pushes Tails out of the way. Watch out! And then she's caught by this thing. I don't recognize this badnik. Belle! Oh, no you don't. And Tails goes into his own spin dash to destroy the badnik. Are you okay? I think so. And then Sonic calls out to the two of them. I hope you're ready to put those weird skills of yours to use, because we're gonna need all the help we can get. Next time, the race is on. And then we see our cover of next month is everyone in the stands cheering for the race. Or we just see Rouge, Amy, and Cream. Which means, I guess that means Sonic, Tails, and Belle are still over at the other place, at the abandoned base. But anyway, that's this chapter. And yeah, there's still a lot of mystery going on here. Specifically, we, interestingly enough, don't get any Parka Guy this issue, despite the fact that he seems to be the main villain of the arc. He's just not really here at all. Unless, like I predicted, he's actually Mimic, and he's disguised himself as Rouge. Which is my theory. I think it ties in with bad guys, it makes sense. That's my best guess, is that Parka Guy is Mimic with the Power Orbs, and that he's disguised himself as Rouge. But it still doesn't quite explain, when Rouge put Omega in Clutch's room, for the plan, since Rouge would have seen Mimic transform, or Omega would have seen Mimic transform into Rouge, how does Omega then not know that he is placed into the room by Mimic? I don't know. It's still weird, but there's definitely some kind of mystery going on with Rouge, going on this final page of Rouge's storyline. There's definitely something sinister going on there, and I think her being Mimic in disguise is the best bet. Especially given that we know that Team Starline should have red power, yellow flight, and blue speed powers. I think it ties everything up very nicely. Though it could lead to some spoilers to what exactly happens to the bad guys' crew at the end of that series. Anyway, and my thoughts on that whole Winter Park section are all kind of muddied by we still don't have the full picture here, and so I can't really judge it yet. But it's engaging. It carries on. Clutch is seemingly down, maybe. At least that's what seems to have happened, given that they've uncovered his whole capturing the Chaos thing. Though the fact that Jamurl says that it will not be easy to get the Chaos out kind of implies that there's still some more complications there, and not just from Parka Guy. But then we get to the Eggman base and Belle. And, meeting Belle is some fun, misunderstanding comedy that quickly turns around to some more questions. Like, who exactly created Belle, if not Eggman? Who is making robots out of wood? And honestly, I have no idea. I don't think there's anyone we've met who could do that, so it must be an original character. And if it is an original character, that means there's not really much of a mystery there, beyond just where is he. Interestingly enough, I called her similar to Pinocchio. And if you look here, when she's talking about her creator, she almost says "my dad" before correcting herself, which, connects to Geppetto and Pinocchio creating a son. Except here's a daughter, but, same basic concept. But anyway, then we have the Badniks attack, and the issue ends. No, hold on. I don't know. Anyway, I had a thought just there, and I lost it. I don't know. Anyway, the chapter is still engaging. Issue is still engaging. I don't really know. It provides enough clues that I'm starting to get a grip on who Parka Guy is, which is good. And I'm excited to see how all that play out, whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, who's to say. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say for this issue. Hope y'all enjoyed the issue and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. Do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!